Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, 100% Pure Elvis. Thank you all for taking the time out to return to my channel today, and I hope this all finds you well. Thank you all for your continued support of the 100% Pure Elvis channel, and a big massive welcome to each and every one of the new subscribers who have joined the channel recently. On this upload today, I want to talk about my favourite books on the life and career of Elvis Presley. It is very rare that I will read a book twice or three times over. Normally, when I purchase a book, whether it's on Elvis Presley or other books that I'm interested in, I very rarely read it more than once unless the book in particular is a really well written and researched book. From the top of my head, one of the first books that I ever read twice was on the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Really well written book. And I've read a couple of books on Marilyn Monroe a couple of times over. But when it comes to books on the life and career of Elvis Presley, there is so many books on the open market across the years since Elvis's passing that again they are scandalously written, not well researched, and again you can see the author is trying to make Elvis look not a nice person. I've read so many books on Elvis that I have really been disappointed with. But for me, the go-to books on the life and career of Elvis Presley have to be from the author Peter Guralnick. As you all know, Peter recently has released his newer book called The Colonel and the King, which I will share with you all in a moment. But the first book that I read three, four times over on the beginning part of Elvis Presley's career is obviously Peter Guralnick's book, Last Train to Memphis. This is such a great read. And again, Peter Guralnick is well researched, well written, and the content inside is unputdownable. And what I mean by that is, when you get a book, for me, when I just before I go to bed, I have to do some reading just to kind of relax myself. And some books you can read one or two chapters and you can find it quite easily to kind of close the pages onto the next chapter until the next evening. But some other books you want to go on to that next chapter, next chapter, next chapter, etc. And this is no exception. I remember when I purchased this book, I purchased this book brand new when it was first issued. So this is the very first book that I purchased on Last Train to Memphis. I've got it in paperback version as well, but I love my hardback copies. So this is the first edition of Last Train to Memphis, and you all know it was issued in 1994. So you are looking at 31 years, 31 years ago now. And again, mine is still in very good condition. I keep all of my Elvis books in very good condition. But again, for me, this was a pivotal turning point in my life, reading about Elvis Presley's rise to the king of rock and roll that we all came to love and still do to this day. Again, as I was saying, it's well researched, well written, unputdownable, really nice thick book. And again, it just, there's nothing in this book that's scandalous at all. And again, you can see it comes from the heart. On the back, it's got a text by Nick Tushis, and it says, in a work of lucent prose and rare perception, Peter Guralnick has given us not only the definitive biography of Elvis Presley, but also a luminous portrait of the America that made and was in turn swayed by him. Again, for me, to me, to this day, this is still the Holy Bible on the rise of Elvis Presley, the amazing Last Train to Memphis, the rise of Elvis Presley by Peter Guralnick, released in 1994. The book again has over, it's got 560 pages in it, and again, you know, for me, some people like the audio books where the book is being read to them on audio. I've never been into that, but again, I like the feel of the books, especially. I mean, I've said it on my channel before. You know, I collect the hardbacks more than anything, and again, there's some great pictures of Elvis in this book, but again, you are looking at more text in this book more than anything. And again, I think that sets aside the standard of a great book as well, because a lot of books on Elvis will have fillers of Elvis photos throughout to kind of pad the book out. I'm hoping you all know what I mean by that. But again, Last Train to Memphis, even though it has some images of Elvis inside, most of the book is just solely text. And I just think the cover design of Last Train to Memphis is outstanding. Whoever decided on this cover design, absolutely, it is stunning. So again, this is, even though I have had Elvis books in my collection before this one, this is the first book that really made an impression on me of the early part of Elvis Presley's career. Last Train to Memphis, the rise of Elvis Presley. And then you have to go on to the follow-up book, which again, Careless Love, the unmaking of Elvis Presley. And again, look at the design of the book. Again, very well written and researched book. Again, on the back here is a praise for Last Train to Memphis. This book inside it's got 766 pages, so a lot thicker than the previous book of Last Train to Memphis, the rise of Elvis Presley. But Careless Love, the unmaking of Elvis Presley, again, it's really an enjoyable read, but a more difficult read than The Last Train to Memphis, because here we are looking at the latter part, latter part of Elvis's life, from the 1960s up until his sad passing. There is some more difficult reads in this book, but again, Peter is stays true to, there's nothing in this book that is scandalous. It is well written, well researched, and again, this is a book that I've probably read 3 or 4 times over. Again, it is a more difficult read, but again, thoroughly enjoyable book from Peter Guralnick. And again, out of the 2 books, for me, I'm going to go as far as to say, even though Last Train to Memphis, it's just such a great book in regards of Elvis Presley's rise to the huge star that he became in the early years of his career. I love reading Careless Love solely because, you know, I love reading about the latter part of Elvis Presley's life and career. So again, if I had to read one of these books over again, it would be this one. And yeah, it is a more difficult read in my personal opinion. And for me, obviously, as previous, it's got some great images of Elvis inside, but again, the book is mainly text, and I will always say, for me, Peter Guralnick is the author to go to if you are wanting to purchase a book on the life and career of Elvis Presley. So again, for me, so you got the picture of Elvis's divorce from Priscilla, but again, it is a book that for me they are must-haves for all fans of Elvis Presley. Again, you know, there is nothing scandalous. Um, the books in question, I think, are unputdownable, and again, Careless Love is no exception. When I purchased this book, so Careless Love was issued 5 years later in 1999. Again, this is a first edition from 1999 from my personal collection. And again, I just love everything about the cover design and the image of Elvis. So on the back, you got praise for Last Train to Memphis. So the first one, unrivaled, Elvis steps from these pages. You can feel him breathe. This book cancels out all others. That's by Bob Dylan. The next one is wonderful. Peter Guralnick deserves to live in Graceland. Roddy Doyle. And then we're going on to it's hard to reclaim Elvis from the weight of history and slander, but Guralnick, as you might expect from his great book about the soul 60s sweet soul music, does it beautifully. He tells this 20th century myth with a fine regard for their subject's humanity, and that is John Savage in Mojo magazine. And then we have a wonderful book. Guralnick gives us an Elvis of real flesh and blood, the richest and most detailed portrait of Presley we have ever had. Tony Parsons in the Sunday Telegraph, and that was praise for Last Train to Memphis. So that is the follow-up book, Careless Love, the unmaking of Elvis Presley, a more robust book, more pages. For me, I enjoy this book more than Last Train to Memphis, but again, Last Train to Memphis is that starting point of great writing from Peter on the life and career of Elvis Presley. And then we're going on to Peter Guralnick's recent book, which was issued earlier this month, The Colonel and the King. Again, I'm about 15% through this book at the moment, and again, you are looking at the life and career of Colonel Tom Parker, being the manager of Elvis Presley. And again, I don't want to be negative about Peter Guralnick, but so far, I think I'm on page 91, which is where it is in the beginning. Let's have a double check. Yeah, it's called the page 91 is a chapter which begins with the beginning of it all. Again, this book has 605 pages in it. At this moment in time, I'm struggling slightly with this book up till the chapter that I am on. So again, I've had this book since it was released, and I'm not reading it every night. So for me, when I'm enjoying a book, I will read it every single night until I finish the book. At this moment in time, I'm really struggling with this book in respect of enjoying it. Again, it's from what I've read so far, it's well written. You know, I can see Peter has done the research as well, but I'm struggling slightly. So I'm hoping the book gets better as I'm going along. If you are someone on this channel that has read the book all the way through, please share in the comments below. Do you agree with me at the very beginning, where for me the book is a bit slow to get going, or does the book get better as it goes along? Again, there is some great images inside of Colonel with Elvis, and again, you know, you're just getting quality from Peter, aren't you? I was really looking forward to this book coming out. So again, great addition to my ongoing collection of Elvis Presley books. So again, you got praise on the back, and this is for well, it's what it's the praise again. So on the back, you got the praise for Last Train to Memphis and Careless Love. The first one I've already read to you before. The third one says the adjective definitive seems almost inadequate. That's from Daily Telegraph. And then we've got the finest rock and roll biography ever written. It must be ranked among the most ambitious and crucial biographical undertakings yet devoted to a major American figure of the second half of the 20th century. That is from the New York Times Book Review, and this is from The Guardian. Soars above all other accounts of Elvis, and then finally, riveting, a masterwork from Wall Street Journal. So again, this book so far, The Colonel and the King, again, for me, it is a bit of a slower read, but I'm hopeful that this book does get better as I'm going along. So again, this is the newest book from Peter Guralnick, The Colonel and the King. Really looking forward to finishing this off. I'm going to continue to read this when I come off this upload. So again, for me, when you are looking at the definitive work of a life and career of Elvis Presley, you don't go no further than these two books. Last Train to Memphis, The Rise of Elvis Presley. Careless Love, The Unmaking of Elvis Presley. And then we're going on to Elvis's relationship with Colonel Tom Parker in Peter Guralnick's new book. So again, I just wanted to share my thoughts on them three books from Peter Guralnick. The first two books, outstanding, 10 out of 10. His newer book, The Colonel and the King, I'm going to give that so far a 7 out of 10 because I find it a bit of a slower read at this moment in time, hoping the book gets better. I want to share with you the bookmark that I've got. And again, this is from, you can see it here, the Strictly Elvis UK organisation with the Elvis Travel Service. These are the same organisation. I used to work for the Strictly Elvis UK team, and it is promoting the book Destined to Die Young by Sally A. Hodel. I had the pleasure of meeting Sally at the Strictly Elvis Presley Festival in Great Yarmouth many years ago. Lovely lady, but this is the bookmark that I am using. Thank you for returning to my channel today. Really good to see you all again. As always, please stay safe. Please keep well. Please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Lots of love, everybody. And before I sign out, tomorrow I've got something to share with you on my channel that I really think you're all going to look forward to. So again, please return to my channel tomorrow and you will see what I'll be sharing with you all. Until then, lots of love, everybody. Bye-bye.